What is your most prized possession?
The most prized possession is, I don't know if it's a possession, but it's the fact that I'm married. I think that's beautiful. That's the biggest achievement that I've done.
Wow, that's beautiful. When and where were you the most happy?
In the kitchen with my grandmother. You go back to the 70s in Sweden. I had white pants and a big afro and big eyes.
Fantastic. There you are. In the kitchen again. Yeah. I love it.
On a chair, because I can reach up.
Yeah. Do you have any regrets? Anything you wish you had done differently?
Oh, lots of regrets. But I mean, I'm here because of the journey that I collectively taken with my parents, with my sisters, and so many other people. And of course there's more things you wish you wouldn't have said and all that stuff, but it's also the reason why you are the person you are, and the only thing you can control is to recognize that and try to do what's ahead of you a little bit different.
Who are your favorite food writers?
The many great food writers. I love Reicher's writing. I think it's fantastic. I think Amanda has certain times writes food incredibly. Michael Ruhlman writes also, but I want to know more about this mystique level around that. And there's many good, really good food writers. You know, Anthony Bourdain writes in a fun way of food that you want to know.
What's the ingredient that Marcus Samuelsson cannot do without?
The ingredients I can never do.
And you can't say salt.
That was a bit what I was thinking. Well, if there would not be, I can't say salt. That's a hard one. Whoa. The ingredients I love the most, I think, is fish. Just love fish.
Wow, fantastic. So it's just fish.
Well, because I grew up on mackerel, salmon, but now I love tuna, flukes, other fishes I actually grew up with, but the texture and my level of love for seafood has always been the same.
What is your motto in life, in the kitchen?
I think it takes a very curious person to be in this, what I think is I want to live a poetic food life. So you have to be curious, and then you have to link that with some knowledge, and then you have to link that with some just hard work your butt off. And if you stay curious and if you want to stay committed to working hard, then you can have a poetic food life.
A poetic food life, that's beautiful. Poetic food life. That sounds like paradise.
Well, it is, because it's just ups, it's downs, but it's yummy, it's delicious, and it's going new waves and new directions, and it's not status quo. And it is also recession-proof.
It is, absolutely. Very important question. German knives, Japanese knives?
Wow. Swedish knives.
Good answer.
You can do it. Why not?
Oh, the Marcus Samuelsson.
No, you can just still go.
Like,
Swedish
what's the brand?
There's no really brand. It's just like up north in Sweden, there's a Lapland, and they've been out there people for generations, like our native Swedes. They have knives, they have everything to handle the outdoor and the nature, and incredible knives.
Wow. Okay, so if Marcus wasn't a chef, is there anything else that you think you could possibly want to?
Well, I've been asked that. It could have been many things, of course. But there's so many what ifs in my life. If I wouldn't have been adopted, if we wouldn't overcome tuberculosis, all of those different things. I think I'm destined to be a chef, and I think I've invited so many other worlds into that, but I never really stepped out of it, and I don't think I ever will. So I don't even want to imagine it without it.
Yeah. And whom is your icon in the culinary world?
Leah Chase. It's a woman from New Orleans, one of the first integrated restaurants in America. She has had a restaurant since the late 40s. Her and her husband, Dookie Chase. And I admire so much her story about where she kept the restaurant, how she cooked, what she's tasted, and that she's still cooking.
Yeah, beautiful. We'd love to.
Decades, decades of food.
So rich and complex too, isn't it? So it's time for us to have our cappuccinos and have our cassatas.
Great.
I'm going to conclude with a quote from one of the great writers. I mean, as we talked about today, we sit at a table today in Harlem, but there are many that came before us to bring that, to bring that expertise and that love and that passion. And the man who is the grandfather, we could say, of the modern restaurant is Brillat Savarin, and his most iconic phrase was, "Tell me what you eat and I'll tell you who you are." So with that, I want to ask you about your final meal. If you were to have a choice, what would Marcus Samuelsson's final meal be?
I would have, it would be in courses, of course.
Of course. Naturally, I'd expect
So there will be some groundnuts there. And it will be a dorowat from Ethiopia. And then it will also be a nice little burger from America. All passed down with some wonderful wines from Africa.
Perfect. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you very much.
It was great
Thank you.
great to see you.
Thank
Great to be with you.
Thank you for having me.